One of the most important part of SEO is using the right tool to help you automate some of the SEO tasks. And um, there's a lot of tasks that's kind of complicated if you do it yourself or if you build a website using just strict straight HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So my recommendation is using WordPress, and there are a lot of plugins that could help you get the most out of SEO in comparison to any other CMS platform. I don't like Shopify. I don't like Wix. I don't like any other platform in comparison to what WordPress can do for SEO. And one of the tools that we're going to review and do a tutorial is RankMath. So this is a tutorial on how to install RankMath on a brand new site and how to maximize the tool for your website. So you're going to just go to plugin and add new, and you're going to install WordPress SEO plugin RankMath, activate it. And once you activate it, you could activate a free account. You don't really need the account. All we want to do is just go through the wizard and make sure that all the settings are complete. So initially, when you do go through the setup wizard, you want to identify your site as a specific site. So is this a personal blog, a community news site, personal portfolio, small business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a news site, and we're going to pick organization. We'll go through several tutorials on my YouTube channel on how to optimize it for local business and so on. But I just want you to kind of go through this training to help you identify some of the processes, some of the checklists that you want to go through so that you could use this plugin and let it do its own SEO thing. So we're going to define this as an organization. Obviously, if you browse through some of these, you could go through professional service, local business, et cetera, et cetera. Here, it automatically pops up the company name, which is based on the site title of your site, and I'll explain that just a minute. We're going to upload a image of the logo of the site. Let's just do this for now, just for the sake of getting it done. And then the social media profile. So if your article does not have a featured image to pull it from, so if you post it on social like Twitter or Facebook, in most cases the featured image will be the one that'll populate the image. But if you do not have a featured image, for example, if you want to share your page, about us page, and you don't have a featured image, this will be the one that's going to be defaulted. You want to click save and continue. Google Search Console, you could add that in. At the moment, I do not have this access, so I'm gonna, I guess, go through it, but I won't be able to add the specific site to it. So you're just gonna go to the right email address, click allow, and you're going to copy the code. Copy, click exit, paste, authorize, and pull the necessary information. This one does not have information. I don't have the Google Search Console access, so I just added something there. I'll show you how why you want to add your Google Search Console in a bit later in this video. So you're going to click Sitemap on include image. You want to disable that. You want to index post and page, not category. So check that off. And we're going to no index categories and tag archives. Um, we'll disable that and enable that. And you're done with the wizard. Now there's several things that we want to go through, uh, but before that, we want when we went through the wizard, it extracted the company name. So how that worked was if you go to customize and site identity, this is the one that RankMath takes the name from. So you want to make sure on your WordPress theme to enter your brand name. And if it's a local business, you want to make sure that's the right name um, that matches your name and address and phone number on from your Google My Business. Now we're going to go through several settings here, and I want to go through in the order of how RankMath provides the order here. We want a 404 monitored. We want that turned on. So if any issues rise up, then we could see if we could fix it. Link counter is automatically on. You want to turn on redirection. If it's a local business and a Google Knowledge Graph, we want that turned on. Schema structured data, definitely want that turned on. Search console, sitemap, SEO analysis on the dashboard. Now we're going to general settings. Over here, we want to make sure all the setting is correct by default. Some of the settings here I don't agree with. This is more of a general term. So what we want to do is kind of go through the settings to make sure that everything is based on your needs. So some people want to automatically no follow external links. I don't like that. I like to allow credible links. I'm not selfish with my links, so in some people will prefer to turn that on. I just don't. Images, make sure um, this one I want to do this myself. Breadcrumbs, you want that turned on. I like to use this so that the spacing is a lot more condensed versus the dash. I want to not show this on my home page, and everything else is good. Over here, we don't necessarily have to add any of your Google Search Console, Bing Webmaster, and so on, but you can if you want to. Robot.txt, we're going to get down to this in a bit. Um, But here it automatically generates all of these. So if you actually type in something, then your automatically generated robot.txt from RankMath will disappear, and we don't want that. We want to make sure to have robot.txt with um, some of these settings, but we're going to change some of the settings. So we have to go back to this so that we could make some changes to it. Okay. Now we're going to title and meta description. So the global meta, it's again we want to use the I don't know what you call that, open graph, and over here we want to make sure that the name is correct. and you have to change if you wanted to change it. You'll need to change it from the local SEO here. So if you are a local business, you do want to add the address, email. You do want to add email, even though it's not a local business. Um, this tutorial I'll explain in a different video, but there are several opportunities here for you to uh, enter in information for your local business, and you definitely want to do that. Homepage, to make any changes, you want to go to the actual homepage to make any changes. Author, we want to, if you have guest post, or if you have author's name mentioned, you want to enable this. If you are a actual company with no authors and all of your articles are from your from the organization, you could disable this. I will not. But one thing I do want to do is add, copy it and paste this. So in the authors, if you have authors on your website, and if they generated 20 articles and you have 20 pages, 2 pages, page one and page two of the authors um, articles, uh, you want to make sure that the description is uh, different compared to the page one and page two. This is called pagination. Uh, I don't really know how to pronounce ping, pagination, pagnation, uh, paginated. Hopefully, I could create a video to explain this as well. Um, if you do want me to create a video tutorial on what pagination is and how that affects and how it could create duplicate content, feel free to leave a comment below. And we want to click Save Changes. Any missed pages, if you have a product page, you might be able to see it here. If you don't, then you'll want to make sure to add that in. And also here, I want to create a page number associated with the page description so that we don't create any duplicate content. Posts, we have the title of the page, the separator, and the site name. That's good. Over here, you have an option to enter in. Um, if you add a meta description on your excerpt, it'll extract it, or you could just leave this alone, and then you could enter in the meta description yourself. Sometimes you want to create an excerpt because let me see if we could find an example here. Ah, they don't have a blog. Um, so an excerpt is when you have a blog with a list of all the articles that you have. This is the excerpt. So it's a little teaser that you want to use so that you could tease people to read it. You could use that as a meta description, or you could create your own meta description and create a different excerpt, so you get more content within your articles. Schema type, we want to make sure it's an article. You could, so if you're a news site, then obviously you want to do news article. If you're just an article, you could stick to article. It doesn't make a difference as long as it's not. You want to differentiate between um, news article and article and blog post. These could be identical. There's no benefits of either or. Um, so you could leave it like that. Since this is a news site, um, then we could just leave it as a news article. Over here, if you enter in the focus keyword, so on a page or a post, once you create a page or a post, you'll be able to add in a focus keyword. So this article is about why SSL is important for ranking on Google. So we want to type in why SSL is important as a keyword. And once you enable focus keyword as a link suggestion, um, you'll be able to identify link suggestion. So if this is a different article, and then if we're talking about SSL, or why, if we mention here why SSL is important, it'll recommend here, hey, we have an article on why SSL is important. Let's link that internal article to this existing article. So you want to either use the title or focus keyword to populate those suggestions for you. So you want to enable that, and you want to utilize this focus keyword for that opportunities. Save changes, pages. Same thing here, either excerpt or just your meta description, and you'll be able to add the meta description. You click on edit snippet, and right here you could add in the description there, or your excerpt. You could enter your the excerpt here, and if you enable excerpt, that excerpt now becomes the meta description. Schema, we do not want to have any pages enabled for article, because some of your pages could be a contact or about us or a home page. So we don't want to label automatically that this is an article, because it's not. Focus keyword as well. Click save changes. Categories. Again, here we want to differentiate the archive. Even though we um, disabled it on sitemap, we are no indexing categories and tags. We want to make sure to not create any duplicate content. Save tags as well. Over here, no index. You don't necessarily have to do it since it's a no index tags, and this is already disabled as well. We have to disable this on the robot.txt, but I just do it just in case. Sitemap settings. include, include. That's good. Now we what we want to do is we want to click on the actual sitemap, copy every sitemap that exists, and we're going back to general settings. Hit robot.txt. Now over here, we whether you want to write this down before or not, you want to try to duplicate this as much as possible. So what we want to do is we want to add the sitemap to the robot.txt. I like to include all the sitemap that is generated. Just like here, the sitemap is generated, but just only on the main page. So over here, you want to type in user agent and then disallow, admin, disallow, category, tag, and you want to add the slash in. So if you have categories and you have a list of several different categories, what you're saying is anything that starts with the category and anything after that, we want to disallow Search Console to enable that. And Google Search Console is a great tool for you to identify based on how much what you want to see. Here you could identify the amount of clicks based on the date, total impression. Obviously, you could see this on Google Search Console, but you're probably going to your website more often than Google Search Console, and you'll be able to see all these data, and it'll do a comparison. So if I do, it doesn't show the last 7 days. It'll compare the last 7 days versus the other days, and you'll see up or down, and you could identify. Um, well, let me show you from my existing example. Here, see that it's 1,000 down, and you can see the graph of how it declined, and now it's going back up. Click on Search Analytics. Over here, now you can see a good comparison. So it's a little bit better than just reviewing your Google Search Console. It does compare based on, so if I look at 30 days, click on that, and now I'm able to see what's been doing well, what's been underperforming, and if you want to review it bi-weekly, I guess it doesn't show on the 7th, maybe the 15 days. Okay, so 15 days you get to see what's going on with your site and see if you could optimize your site, um, and so on. So that's pretty much it for the main basic setup for RankMath. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave a comment below, and definitely like this video if you do, and hit subscribe.